Loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I
Excellent.
can. I can. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
Good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Okay,
Excellent.
so good to have you here, and good evening, good evening or good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. So we already shared the links, so I suppose people will join us very soon. Yes.
All right.
Um, yes. So we should get started, right?
So, besides the link you shared with me, that was
Yeah.
just for me to be able to join.
Well, yes.
Can you hear
So
me?
I also shared. I can hear you. So I also shared with my
Okay.
community. Yes.
Okay. You could send me that link. Let me put it up on my status.
Okay. I'll do that now.
All right.
Mm, just a moment, please.
Da, 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 da. And this you
Live again. Technology and issues. I'm coming. Yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
Mm. I have the link copied, but
I hope it's not my network that's misbehaving right now. You're frozen.
why that is. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, I
Now
don't
I
know why
can,
that's.
yeah.
I am able to. I am able to copy, but I'm unable to share. Let's see again.
Oh, really? What is that?
Okay.
Oh, clap your hands, all you people. Shout to God with the force of triumph. Clap your hands, all you
I don't know.
people. Okay, not a challenge. We'll go
Yeah,
ahead
I
like
don't know
that.
why. Yes, I don't know why. I don't know why.
Mm, let me see if
Try.
I can.
Yeah, try and see if you can do that from your own end.
Okay. Okay, I can see you live. So let me
Okay.
share. Sure. Okay.
Are you?
Yes, from my system, I've seen the link.
Okay.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, I'll be able to do that. Just
Okay,
share.
you've done that. Okay.
Yeah, I've shared it with you, and then I would go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me get.
Okay, so let me quickly post that up on my. Mm. Okay, so after that, then we will. Oh, clap your hands, all you people. Okay. Um, Let me see if I minimize this on my phone. I hope it doesn't. Okay, we're good to go now. I'm ready. Your video is frozen. Can you hear me?
Okay, Coach Maisie, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I think we'll just get started. We just share
Let's
the
get.
links.
All
Yeah, let's
right.
get started. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
technology and hitches. You can't really predict at all.
That's
So good to
right.
have you here with me,
Great.
Coach Maisie. Coach Maisie is a coach I have watched from afar. I have followed his work, and I must say he's an expert. He's one expert who knows his onions so well, especially as it concerns singles, preparing them for marriage. He's into premarital counseling, relationship counseling, as well as marriage counseling. Um, and then he's joining us live today from Sierra Leone. Yes.
That's right.
Wonderful. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, welcome to this session, everyone. And today we're looking at a very important topic, one topic that I don't think will go away or fizzle out for a long time to come, as far as we're in the digital age. Dating, relationship, or even flirting online is something we've come to live with, but we're looking at online dating disasters. It's no longer news that people go online, genuinely trying to find love, thinking they can find love online, especially when there's been stories, there's been good stories from people maybe they've known in the past who have tried online dating, and for some reasons they've ended up in marriage, and then they think, okay, let me just go and try my hands and see what happens. But unfortunately, we can't close our eyes to the fact that we've come to also know that many persons get burned along the line. So we want to unpack online dating disasters and then look at how we can look at measures, safety measures, just so that as a single person who is looking to find love online, you do the right thing so that you don't end in the wrong hands. So, and then Coach Maisie and I would be conversing in this line. And then Coach Maisie, he has a lot of stories. He's got a lot of tips for us. And then I'm in no doubt that today will be worth your while. So, Coach Maisie, online dating, even before we look at the disaster part or the disastrous part, online
Yeah.
dating, um, how generally as an expert, how do you view online dating? What's your take on finding love online?
Okay, thank you very much. And it's a great opportunity to be here. I don't take it for granted at all. So
Yeah,
thank you very much. Um,
yeah.
Offline dating has come to stay.
Mm,
That's the first thing I would say. It's something we have to accept. It's something we need to come to terms with, and something that has come to stay. And the reason I'm saying
okay.
that is because with increase in technology and communications, the world has become a virtual village, basically a global
Mm,
village, and the only
yeah.
distance apart um, from two people is just the time it takes for interconnectivity of their network. All right. And that is why we can successfully host this from two different continents and we're talking at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. All right. So leveraging technology, everything has improved. Commerce has improved. Even religious activities, political activities, everything leverages on technology in this age and time. So does dating. Although has dating also, improved to the point where right now virtual or online dating is a thing. So it's like I said, it has come to stay. And anybody who is still looking at it as something that is not common or something that will fizzle out, no, that's a lie. It's here to stay. In fact, we're going to see more dimensions of it. All right.
Mm, mm,
During the COVID, I mean, we saw
mm, yeah.
or let me say wedding ceremonies. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
union is only concluded when there's consummation, right? But we saw a few cases where people their weddings, and it was a virtual
Mm-hmm.
people gathered. We saw virtual birthday celebration and things like that. So it has basically come to stay. That's just what I want to
Mm,
say. So long as IT and is here to stay, and people are on their systems, on their phones, on their mobile devices, everything can happen on that mobile device, including online relationships. Yeah.
okay. Uh-huh.
So that's it.
Beautiful. So we can confidently then say that the love letters of those days, the having to travel miles to go and post, letters of those days, has automatically fizzled out because of the oneness that online dating has made life become. That's the world being global, we being in a digital age. People rarely write letters now. In fact, nobody has time to begin to write love letter when you can just send one message, to somebody somewhere. I am
Yeah.
reminded of a story someone told me about when he was in his youthful days, when he wanted to like chike ladies or toast ladies. It's just one letter, and he was so skilled in writing letters in those days that whenever he penned those words down, I mean, the sister, whoever reads that letter, has no other choice than to say yes. So these days,
You'll be
it's a different ballgame entirely right now because people can see you on Facebook or on Instagram and take to a liking for you and then try to reach out
right.
to you. That's good. Okay, now we understand that the world has, become one global village, and all of that. But some people would say, um, just as there are pros to the technology and the advancement in technology, there are also pros to it. Sorry, there are also cons to it. Meaning, if we were to like isolate online dating and then say, okay, right now it's much easier to maybe like reach out to a guy or a lady online. It's much easier to hide behind your keypad if you're a shy guy, to pen your feelings down to a lady. Shall we then say also there could be cons, there could be disadvantages also of dating online? What do you think?
Oh yes, there are a number of disadvantages. You see,
Okay.
just like just like every other thing, and the reason I try to compare it with every other thing that happens online is because a lot of people are particularly wary when it has to do with love and relationship. They feel like that's where
Mm,
all the evil happens. That's where all the
mm.
the system. No, no, no. Bad things happen in everywhere. All right. So the same way
Yeah.
there are pros, there are also cons there, and for obvious reasons. Chief of which is the fact that you're not in the same physical location as this person. You perhaps don't even know who is truly behind the keypad. All right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, that makes for a lot of concern. But with the concern comes the guidelines and all of these safety tips we're going to be talking about today, that will help people to mitigate those risks. All right. So same way
Hmm.
somebody can walk up to you physically, he looks dazzling and he's like your dream man, and he presents everything you want in a man, and you're already falling head over heels. But then that could be a false identity, it could be a pretentious identity. Deep down, he may be, a criminal. You see? So the same way it happens and plays out in real life is the way it plays out in virtual and online dating life. All right. So what matters is that one is aware and equipped with knowledge and the requisite insight to know what to look out for, how to adjust correctly, and then how to discern, and better still, how to have emotional control so that you're not just um, blown away by what someone is telling you. Do you understand?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, beautiful. So, we've come to understand now that online dating has come to stay. It's going nowhere. In fact, if those who are if we had experts who could develop maybe an AI, or perhaps somebody might be somewhere even developing it already. That's if we don't already have them now, as AI is taking over different this thing, who knows, someday with dating sites we could have AIs take over these things, help run the show and all. But okay, we've seen that okay, online dating has come to stay. We've looked at okay, there being a possible or could be possible disadvantages, as well as
Yeah.
advantages, because I dare say advantages because we run a ministry for singles, and since 2016 when we started, we have had a total of 32 marriages, if not more. People come in, of course, amongst the 32, we've had people who married outsiders, but we've had also marriages take place where people would come in, right there into the WhatsApp group. They stay a while, they learn what they need to learn, and then they prayerfully check out to see if a person is suited, for them. And we thank God we've had marriages like that take place. However, don't forget that it's we also, I mean, automatically Facebook is an online space. People come in and then you know them from, you don't know this guy from Adam, you don't know this woman from
Right.
Eve or whatever, or from Genesis, and you come in together and like something sparks off. But we can't also negate the fact that there are those of them who might also still be having a rough time because of where they met. Now, which brings me to my next question to you. Um, have there been tales of wars? Are there tales of wars, that has to do with online dating? You know?
Oh yes. Oh yes. There are several.
Okay,
There are several.
okay, okay,
Um, uh, but let me just share one or two, depending on how far we can go with
okay,
our time.
okay, okay.
Besides these stories that we share, statistically,
Mm,
in the U.S. for 2022, it was reported that about 70,000 people were victims of online dating fraud, a scam,
wow.
and financially to the tune of about $1.3 billion were lost
Mm,
in money changing hands to scammers who they
wow.
thought they were in love with. All right.
Hmm,
But besides the financial loss recorded, I mean,
mm,
what about those ones who were physically attacked? What about those ones who lost
hmm,
their lives? What about those
hmm,
ones who were emotionally distraught and lost their mind?
hmm,
So there are several of these stories. I mean, there was a time just a couple of months in Nigeria. There was a
hmm,
story that trended about two girls who traveled to a particular city to meet a guy that
hmm,
they had met online on Facebook, and they chatted with him. He kind of chatted with one of them. wanted them to come over and chill with him, stuff like that, according to the stories online. I don't know. But the long and short is these ladies, they went for that trip, and they never came back alive. All right.
Jesus.
That's an
Yeah.
example. Yes. Yes.
Mm,
And it was only then that word started coming out that that particular person was a member of a said syndicate who used to deal in human bodies and stuff like that. You see, that's just one very tragic, very, very tragic, pitiable, avoidable story. All right.
mm,
And there's
mm,
several like that. Yeah, time and time again, you hear of people boarding flights, taking a bus, taking a car to another city, to another state, to another country to meet with a lover whom they met
mm,
online. You see, or
mm.
people opening up their doors to this lover to come visit with them at home, and then that's the last of them that was heard. You see,
Jesus.
so there are several of these stories, and um, I mean, a number of them. Recently, I saw this one online of a lady. This was in the U.S. Of a lady who believes that she's
Mm,
dating a popular celebrity in the U.S. And she called his name. In fact, I mean, it's out there. She believes that she's dating Tyler Perry for the past 2 years.
mm. Crazy. That's
And
crazy.
this time, have you guys ever met? No. But there's just somebody on the computer who's been talking to her, just always have these
Hmm.
nice times. Wow. You see, that is tragic because already you could tell
Hmm.
that something is not
Hmm.
right with this woman's, mental state. Because at some
Mm-hmm.
point
Mm.
she brings in the religion card to say, we walk by faith and not by sight. And that was what the
Hmm.
Bible was talking about. You see,
Mm-hmm.
but with time, you would tell that this person is not stable up there because it messes with the mind. You see, that's an
Mm.
example of some of the disadvantages or the negative stories. There are people who have dated with people for 1 year or 2 years. You see, I'm using that in parentheses because they thought it was a relationship, but they never saw this person. They never ever stumbled on a video call with this person. It never worked. It was never going to work. There was never going to be chance for that. Or the person always had a nice excuse. Or when there's time for the video call, there will be a network glitch. Something will happen, and
Mm. Mm.
if you're listening to us right now, and that is exactly what you're going through in your relationship, please, it has all the signs of danger. Let me just put it out there. It
Mm-hmm.
has all the signs.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
In this day and age, it is very easy to talk with people real time over video. All right. And you know, I mean, video is just the first part of identifying the person. Do you understand? That's
Mm-hmm.
just the first
Mm-hmm.
part, right? Because I mean, the fact that you're talking with somebody that you can see does not yet prove the identity and the intent of that person.
Yeah.
You see,
True.
but it's even a serious level where you're talking for months and years, and you haven't even been beheld the person you say you're in a relationship with. It's just a
Mm.
mess. All right. So we've seen
Mm.
some of these stories, and they never end up well.
Mm. Yeah.
Howbeit,
In fact, okay.
let
Yeah.
me
Go
just
ahead.
sorry, just add this. We have also seen clear cases of people who met their partners online and it checked out.
Mm.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
and it was fine. I
Yeah.
mean, recently,
Mm-hmm.
also this year, there was the gospel singer Moses Bliss who got married, and story has it that
Mm-hmm.
he slid into her DM. She was dancing to his
Yeah.
song on social media, and they connected, and they're
Mm.
married. All right, that's just
Yeah.
an
True.
example. There are several
Mm.
have checked out
Mm.
actually. Okay, but
Okay.
for our purpose today, we want to focus on helping people know how to do it right. The
Yeah.
safety
True.
things to look out for, in online
Mm-hmm.
dating. Over to you, please. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, in fact, one of the viewers right now put in there on the comments section. She's saying that the disadvantages on online dating are more than the advantages. Well, we'll get to know. Okay, so now this brings me to what we've been saying here now. There are definitely, like for instance, catfishing. So there's this term known as catfishing when somebody, is somewhere acting like what they are not, especially online. especially
Yeah.
as it concerns dating. So, how exactly is it possible? Because I ask that, for instance, with what we operate, we try to like have a measure where we ask questions, we get social media handles of these people before admitting them in. We go check them out to have an idea into their thoughts. What do they post online?
Yeah.
What do they, things they like, and all that. But over time, we've also still come to realize, because human beings who have the wrong motives will always devise, negative ways to, like, break the system, shatter the system of law and abiding, to rules. They devise their own ways. We've also got to find out that some people, because of this same term known as catfishing, can actually be somewhere putting out good posts, religious posts on their walls, saying nice things online, even when they have a wrong intention. So that brings me to my next question. How exactly do you know, or can you find out, or can somebody who has an interest in online dating or finding a life partner online, how exactly can such a person know when a person is genuine or putting up an attitude?
Okay. Hmm. I'm thinking of if to answer that just yet or to do a little background to it. Let me do a little background and then I'll speak to this how to know the person, right? Now, first of all, if you're getting on the platform, you need to understand what kind of online platform it is. All right. The
Okay.
word dating is somewhat a broad word. All right. So you want to be sure what exactly you're getting online for. Are you looking for friends? Are you bored and you just want somebody who you think you can chill with and have a nice time? Are you looking for marriage? If you're looking for marriage, then you should look for the platforms that are for marriage. Let's start with that. All
Okay.
right. Because there are some of those platforms that are for hookup, people who just want to have a fling. All right. If you say you're looking for a life partner and you're going to a place where people who are looking for short term gratification are, that is all you will be getting. All right. So first of all, be in the right
Mm,
space.
mm.
Let's just start with that. All right. And then while you're in that space and you see someone of interest or someone reaches out to you, one of the first things to do is to check them out. Whatever, in fact, pay attention to their usernames and their bio, because typically people will put a short description of themselves. All right. We have seen and heard of cases where people with very questionable usernames, so for example, there was a guy who murdered his girlfriend, and they were looking for him all over the place. And what was his social media handle? Killer boy. How do you see
Oh my
somebody
God.
with a name, Killer Boy,
Ah,
and you say this is who I want to befriend? Do you understand? You see all of those kinds of
mm,
names that you should really be scared of, but then you say that is what I'm looking for. Do you understand? So you need to even pay attention to all of those things. Pay attention to what people say they like. If it does not synchronize and if it's not in tandem with your own values, then you should not even have any conversation with them in the first place. You see, so
mm.
now let's assume that you have gone through all of those checks. You're in the right environment. Maybe it's even a religious environment, and everybody is showing up there as a believer. You know, um, you need to be very aware. Okay, in other words, keep your emotions somewhere on the back seat so that you are more
Mm,
rational and more logical in your approach. You want to ask a lot of questions. Somebody may have put up posts that make it look like they are who they are not. You see, the thing about pretentious people is that if you're patient enough, they will always give themselves away. Always. All right.
mm.
So I see some.
Sorry, can I butt in here? Sorry, can I butt in
Yes,
here?
please.
So, yeah, you said something that caught my attention now. Ask enough questions. But in some cases, Talk is cheap. Talk can be cheap. People can come and you ask questions. They are saying, they are, like chatterbox. They are saying, and you're like wondering, oh wow, this person, wow, wow, wow. You have so many aha moments that, oh wow, this person is saying my mind. But talk is cheap. How do you differentiate when you come in contact with a person where you're asking questions and it looks as if you're getting the right answers you want to hear? How do you measure these words with the reality? Are there things to look out for?
Okay, this is still within the context of a virtual relationship, all right? Because let's say you haven't met this person yet, so they're just saying all the
Mm,
nice things, they have all the right answers. Yeah, I mean, there's some basic checks you can do. Once you have their full names, for example, it is advised you do a basic background check on them, all right? And you can do that yourself. Just check out that person online, and with the way the internet is
mm,
now, just type the full name, and
mm.
anything that that person has online would show up. Anybody who bears that name will also show up with images in some cases. So long as they have an image online, it will also show up. All right, that's just the very basic way. So you can even start with that. All right, before you allow the conversation go very far. Once you are able to get the person's full name, right, you go online and check that name out. Go on Google and type the person's name. I tell some people to do this sometimes and they're surprised. I tell them, go on Google and type your own name. And you'll be surprised the kind of things it will pull up. You could bring out your secondary school where you attended. You see? So do that as a basic check to get the very fundamental ideas about this person. Go as far as you can get in the information that is available about those people online. Dig out as much as you can, right? So it becomes a red flag if in this day and age, the name that this person gives you as their name does not have anything online. It is a big red flag. It is a big
Okay.
red flag. It tells you that this
Mm.
person is not real. No, no, no. This name is not real. Because if it is, something about you will pop up. There's no way you can blot out all the. You can't be that good that everywhere your name from your secondary school details, something a paper you published in university, this, that, a program you attended, somehow your name will show up somewhere. If it doesn't show up at all, that's a red flag. You even want to know how has this person successfully stayed away from the internet that nobody has any record or trace of you. Do you understand? So that's something you can even check with. And the truth is, there are several people who, by doing this check, have found out that the person talking to them right now is actively married with children and family.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
true.
Yeah. There are some who have found out that the person talking to them right now is in secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time they check, they see that all the names that fits what this person is saying. Look at the result. Look at what it's showing. You see, so that's the very basic thing. Go online and then also ask for their social media handles. Yes, it is easier for people to escape this one because they can say, I'm not active on social media, or I don't have a presence, or I use a pseudonym or
Mm,
something.
mm.
But somehow, that their real name must have appeared online at one time or the other. All right. That's the
Okay.
first check. Another thing you can do is you want to find out from your interaction with them, you want to find out a little bit about their history. And not just for the story of it, but for search for people and places where you can verify who they are. So stuff like, where did you attend primary school? Where did you attend college? Right? Where did you attend high school? What course did you study? When you're asking those kind of questions, somehow you're telling yourself that if I want to verify this person's identity, if I have to, I can go to that location and also ask around. You see, so by getting some of those um, history about them, it's also easy to identify disjointed stories. Somebody tells you they graduated at a particular time, but then they tell you, so maybe I tell you I graduated from the university somewhere in Nigeria in 2005. I did a 4-year course. But then in another testament, I'm telling you that as of 2002, I was writing WAEC. How did I write WAEC in 2002 and graduate from a 4 year course in 2005? It doesn't check out. All right. Clearly,
Yeah.
somebody is
Mm-hmm.
trying to. So, but from asking all of those kind of questions, because I tell people that at the initial stage, that's not the time to get blown away. That's not the time to
Mm.
say, just in love. I just no, that's not the time at all. Until you can verify who this person say they are, keep your emotions don't even appear. Keep them somewhere. All right. As a matter of fact, I tell people everyone you meet online is a suspect until proven otherwise. So just
Yeah.
have that mindset first until proven
Mm.
otherwise. Even if the
Mm.
person is blasting in tongues, even if a lot of people have used religion and spirituality and all of
Of
those things to
course.
deceive
Of
people.
course.
You know,
Yeah. Of
so
course.
so so
Mm.
until basic things check out, they are still suspects.
Mm.
All right. So all they say, what if they have multiple accounts on social media? Yes, that is why I said beyond social media, also just type their names out on Google and then also ask questions to get an idea of their history, the places they grew up. Who else knows this person? Who are your best friends?
Mm.
All right. Who have
Mm.
worked with you before? What places have you worked? Do you understand? And in case this is difficult for you, it is also possible to engage the services of companies that do background checks. Yes, it is possible. You can do that also. Someone says, how can I be doing background check on somebody I say I claim to love? Who sent you to go and start loving at that stage? That's the question I'm asking. That's not the time to start loving. you know, at that stage, it's not the time to love. It's time to verify before you love. All right. So it's also possible there are several background check organizations. You can contract them, I mean, within the ambits of what's legal, and they will carry out those checks and let you know what's available on this person. In some cases, including criminal records. What if this is somebody who's been listed as a child offender? Do you understand? What if this person has had several times in jail or criminal records and things like that, and that is a concern to you? What if this person is most wanted? Do you understand? So when you engage the organizations that can do background checks, that's another thing that another way you can even get to know if this person is who they say they are. All right. So basically, besides all of these, if you want to cut in, please just let me know. Um, besides all of these, okay, go ahead, please. For some reason, your volume dropped. I don't know if it's from my end or yeah, I can't hear you as I was hearing you before. I can still hear you, but it's like it's coming from the phone volume, not the speaker. What could have gone wrong? It seems to be same, but okay, you can hear me loud and clear, right? Okay, let's go ahead. You're saying something, please. Excellent. Exactly.
is still constant. It's not
That's
variable.
right.
So this particular trick perhaps can also help people watching, today. Don't just
Oh,
take
yes.
what the person asks you, hook, line, and sinker once. Look for a way. Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct. We've got to have that quote and unquote street smartness, even when you are trying to, like, get things done. So if you ask one question at first, you ask one question at first and then you get a response, look for ways to ask again to be sure, so you can allay any fear of doubt that this person might be telling me lies. Like we said before, talk is cheap. These days people come and they will say a lot. you know People come and they will tell you a lot. I am this, I am that, I do this, I do that. Yours is to hear and then know how to know how to sieve it, know how to sieve the matter, know when the person is saying the right thing, when the person is saying the wrong thing. And another thing I try to tell people is, when it comes to dating, don't you ever accept to begin dating without establishing a physical, I don't want to say presence now, establishing a physical meeting.
Meat. Yeah.
Yes. Some persons will say, but what if the person is in America and I'm in Ghana and all? Whatever it is, it's not ideal to accept to begin dating without seeing the person. So then the question will be, so if for instance this person is in the UK and I'm in Nigeria, and we've been gisting, we've been talking, we've been checking ourselves online, how then do we have to wait? And when I know, maybe you guys met in January and the person tells you, I'm coming, maybe I'll be coming next year April, does it mean you have to now wait till next year April before you start the dating? This is where the measure and safety comes in. Now, emotional resources, as the years go by, emotional resources is becoming too, it's becoming too expensive, even though some people still waste it anyhow. You meet a person, emotions begin to run high, a lot begins to happen. You want to quickly, because the internet and the digital age is a fast paced life. Attention span is quite slim. We want to do it now. We want to, like, get results now. So you meet a guy or a lady online and you're not giving enough time, enough room to know this person. Even though some will say that would be tantamount to leading somebody on. Some have said, I met this guy online, I met this lady online, we began to talk, he didn't say anything at all to me, he was, leading me on, wasting my time. This is where knowing how to be intelligent emotionally comes in. Knowing how not to spend your emotional currency anyhow, knowing where to tame your emotions, just so that you can get to know this person very well and connect, just like you said, before letting our guards down. So it would also mean that part of the safety measure would be knowing where to draw a line, even as you are trying to learn this person, as you're trying to know this person. I remember when
Yeah.
I met my husband, and then he told me, we got talking, we compared notes, even though we didn't go on this date with a physical note, but of course, everybody in their own head had a note. This is what I want, this is, who the person has to be. So when we met and we began to compare notes, we found out that, okay, there's something similar. But of course, that wasn't going to be enough reason to now let down your guard. If this can happen, meeting somebody physically on a date, how much more measure should you put in place in terms of making sure you don't have your fingers, beating? So it means that even after you've compared notes, it's looking as if it's similar. There are still some things that need to be done, just like you said. So, Coach Mezi, help us identify some red flags. Help us
Okay.
identify some red flags. Yeah.
online dating
Okay, thank you
platforms.
so much for all those points shared. Really powerful. You know, very quickly, some of the red flags. One I will start with is you just met this person online, and then they are already overly showering you with so much love and adoration. Oh, how come I haven't met you before now? Oh, you are the best in the world. Oh, you're this, you're that. You're so beautiful. You're an angel. I've never seen someone like you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know how they say this, but whatever it is that is just overly, you know, or even too romantic. Somebody you're meeting too early, and then they start showering you with all of those praises and those niceties. It's a red flag. Even the Bible says it, that if a man comes out early in the morning and starts blessing his neighbor loudly, they seem to be taken as a curse. Like, what's going on? Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things you
Yeah.
want to be aware of. You know, overly over someone complimenting you, too much and being too romantic too early. All right, it's a red flag. All right. Another thing I'll say is, you said something about asking a question different times in different ways. All right, that's a very spot on move because you're able to identify inconsistencies with that. All right. So, when someone's story is not adding up, that should also tell you beware. Today they said it was this, tomorrow they said it was that. Later they say, oh no, what I meant was I was pick it as a flag. All right, pick it for what it is. Right. And then another red flag is some people who go overly boastful and grandiose about the things they have done, about the life
Yes.
they're living, how wealthy they are, and they start telling you all those nights. If I just run first, that's not the time to be saying, wow, wow. That is your red your alarm should be blaring, bam, 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 run, run, right? Because why should you meet somebody and within the early stages of your meeting, you're already boasting about everything you have and talking about how well no, no, no. Typically you should have some discretion and some maturity. If you really have those kind of things that you have, there should be some maturity behind it. Do you understand? So I meet you today and I'm already telling you about all the companies I own, what my companies are worth, my gigs internationally. To what end? That's a red flag. And that is why fraud always, the victims of fraud are people who are greedy. Always. They're always the first candidates. All right. That greed, all right, is always a bait. They sell it to you as a bait, and then you fall for it. So if they're telling you all those nice things, oh, please, it's a red flag. Also, you guys met on a dating app and they're in a hurry to tell you, let's continue our conversation outside the app. No, the initial conversations should be within the app. Why? Because you're able to report and block those kind of people there on the app. All right.
Yeah.
But as soon as you meet them now and you start chatting, they say, okay, send me your personal number. Let me call you up. No, don't send no personal number. Let us talk here. All right. Let's talk here. Another thing you want to do is when they're asking for personal information too early. They want to know your address. They want to know what kind of job you do, where you work. They want to know your phone number, your personal mailing address, and all of those things. No, don't share yet. Not yet at all. Keep the conversation within the app. All right. If you have given them your full name, that is enough disclosure for now until you are able to confirm that certain other things are in sync between the both of you. All right. But giving of exact details is not advisable. Another red flag is when they come to you with any kind of financial solicitation, any kind. Oh,
Yeah.
I lost my brother. Oh, I just need some money. Or there's this investment
Yeah.
opportunity. Uh, you can become a millionaire in 7 days. Anything money
It's a
is a red
no
flag.
no. Yeah, of
Whether they are
course.
selling
Yeah.
something to you, or they're asking something from you, or they're telling you to contribute to a charity project because they have seen that you are the kind of person who likes to help the needy. And then they package one uh, charity project in Africa. It's always Africa. Meanwhile, people need help, even in the West. But conversation for
Exactly.
another day.
Yeah.
Excuse
And
me.
then
Yeah.
yeah. And
Go
then
ahead, please.
speaking of just to
add to what you said. You talked about the alarm system going off. Now, it's important that everyone, whether you're single, looking to find love online or offline, or you're married, in fact, every human being has a built-in red alert system, your intuition.
True.
Many times, which also happens to be like a hunch. We understand that as believers, there's the presence of the Holy Spirit in us.
That's
And
right.
God has placed instincts in everybody. Many times, our intuition, can pick danger even without having facts or logic, on ground. So you can enter a room or you can meet a guy or a lady, and instantly an alarm, goes off in your mind or your head, making you see that there's danger. But you don't have facts as to whether indeed there's danger, or you don't have enough concrete statistics. But something like an alarm has gone off on your inside. Ideally, as human beings, we should act on it without looking for more evidence. That is where
Yeah.
your intuition comes. So many times when
Yes.
people go into dating, and they meet, you know, quote and unquote, a dangerous guy or a dangerous lady, and that alarm goes off in their head telling them this guy might be dangerous or this lady might be dangerous. Many times they ignore it, trying to look for facts. But I've not seen signs. This guy has not spoken to me, you know. And some of the things we call love, like butterfly in the stomach, all those tightening in the belly, are all signs that there is danger. You know, I won't forget a book I read when I was a single. I don't know. I think I saw the advert or someone posted somewhere, and instantly I rushed off to the bookshop to get that book. I still have that book till now, and I tell every lady, even though I know men are also put in harm's way when it comes to relationship. I don't want to be biased now because it's not only a ladies thing. Men also
Oh
are being
yeah.
harmed every day. Yeah, they are being maimed, harmed, and all that. But this book is titled "How to Spot a Dangerous Guy" by Rebecca Brown, if I'm not mistaken, something Brown, Susan Brown or so, you know. And that book was a lifesaver for me because in that book, as a psychologist, this woman broke down the kind of things ordinarily human beings will feel when they meet someone of the opposite sex. And to them, they think, it is a sign. For instance, butterfly in the stomach. You meet a guy, you're out on a date with a guy, and all of a sudden you have dry throats, your throat is dry, or your stomach, there's a tightening in your stomach, or your heart begins to skip as if there's danger coming. These are signs you should look into. But many times, because we don't
That's
have
true.
physical signs, because we don't have physical signs, we're like, no, but this guy has not harmed me yet now. This guy looks clean
Mm.
now. I mean, this lady looks very prim and proper. She looks very well calculated. And we begin to, like, think, not knowing these are natural alert system that God has placed
Yeah.
in the life of every human being. Whether you are a Hindu,
Truth.
whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, whether you worship a cow or you worship a donkey, everybody has
Yeah.
an intuition. And when danger comes, that alarm goes off. And it is in your best
That's right.
interest to act on it. Act on it by fleeing, not by trying to understand. This
No,
guy
don't
never
try to
even
make it
touched
work.
me.
Stay away.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. This guy never even touched me. How come it's dangerous? Mm-mm. It is something inside you telling you run before he touches you and harms you. And
Exactly.
all. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. Another thing that people do sometimes is, um, like you said, it's important you meet the person before it even becomes a relationship, no matter how far apart you guys are. If you're serious about marriage, then you have to meet. You have to meet. So somewhere along the line, somebody is planning a trip, and again, the person who is let the traveling be done by the person who is initiating the relationship. So, um, not that I'm asking you out and then I'm telling you, you travel to come and meet me. Let the burden of that travel be on the person who is initiating. All right. And I'm saying that so that at no point are you expending your time and resources, only to be disappointed at the end. Let the person bear that burden. All right. If they so want you badly, then let them come and meet you where you are. All right. And until that physical meeting is established, it also helps you to further evaluate certain things about that person. Okay. But then, so let's say you're having that first meeting. We advise it should not be in your house, it shouldn't be at their house. It shouldn't be in their hotel room. It shouldn't be in your hotel room or a different hotel. It should be in a public place, all right, where there are other people, where you can easily ask for help if you need to, all right. It should be during the day, for goodness sake, even if it has to be in the evening, a public place, a restaurant, not a private. They say, I want to make it very special. Calm down with this, your special. We will do special later. Public. Yes, so that if things want to go south, right? And then if you're a lady or if you're the person who is going to be the vulnerable, who is the vulnerable one, feel free to go on that particular date with your friends or with other people. Now they are not
Yeah.
going to be on the same table with you, right? But they are littered somewhere around the restaurant too, eating their own food,
That's
but keeping an
wise.
eye on
That's a
you.
wise move.
Oh
Wise move. Yeah.
yes. Oh, yes. So at least go with one other person. If you can't have multiple, one other person. Let the person sit down somewhere and be keeping an eye on you. All right. Um, if you say you can't do that, then I also tell people have an arrangement with the security personnel in that restaurant or with the waiter that if I beckon on you in a kind of way, if I, get there before time and make those kind of arrangements, right? Yeah. This another thing people do is, especially the ladies, come and pick me up now. That's a way to get vulnerable because they're most likely going to pick you from your house.
Yeah.
And we're saying they shouldn't know your house yet. So please have money to transport yourself. Bear your own transport cost. Yes. If you guys are meeting at
Yeah.
4 o'clock, feel free to get there at 3 p.m. and scout the area and make certain arrangements. And then even stay somewhere else and observe the people coming in and just know who it could be. Do you understand? Because, like I said, you have to watch out for yourself. Treat every other person as a suspect until proven otherwise. All right. Somebody say, "But you're not doing it too much." It takes just one wrong decision that can affect the rest of your life. So you don't want to play with that. All right. So you can arrange with the waiter or with someone else in the restaurant to say, please, if I call you or if I do this, I need your help. I need you to help me call a taxi. I need you to help me take me out of this table. Have those kind of arrangements just for backup. All right. It doesn't have to be that bad. But what we are saying is that terrible things have happened in the past, and you don't want to add to the statistic. So it's better you are armed. It's better you are armed with knowledge and information, not weapon. All right. It's better you know what to do. All right. So yeah, those are just some tips you want to look out for. Of course, after the meeting, he's not dropping you off at home, or she's not dropping you off at home. Again, I suggest to people go somewhere else after that date. Don't go home straight. Branch the church, go to the market, go to the mall. All right. You'll just be surprised that you'll run into that same person in the mall. And then that should let you wonder why are you also in this mall? Is it coincidence or am I being trolled? You see? And if you have any reason to feel like this person is trolling you, then, report to the authorities or, like I say, go elsewhere. Just don't go home. There are several cases of people who said they went on a date with someone, and then at maybe one ungodly hour of the night or the next day, someone is knocking on that door. And when they open the door, who is this person? I'm not expecting you. I didn't know. I didn't tell you my house. How did you find out? They told you. Or you gave yourself away when you were talking. All right. And You just gave up personal information. That is why we tell people protect personal information. You know, sorry, let me respond to the message.
Okay.
All right, so those are just a few points. Let me see if I'm leaving out something else. Another red flag is if the person is a minor, you don't have any conversation. No, no, you cannot. That thing has to end there. If they are not adults, if they are below 18, all right, you have to stop that conversation there and then. All right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If the person is harassing you or using offensive language, that is a red flag. All right. If the person is intimidating or threatening you already, that is a red flag. If the person is asking for your nude pictures and wants to get all sexy with you, that is a red flag. These are not things that should come up at this stage of the dating at all. At all. All right. So when they start trying to get personal, they start trying to intimidate or harass or impress overly, then those are red flags and you want to pay attention to that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Beautiful. So, I also want to like address this. There's this thing about um a lady or a guy, they meet themselves online and they assume, you know, they have already started, or even in a bid to begin to start when they haven't started. They can then begin to do video calls and, show themselves, as they are. And then this kind of a thing is even rampant, in the Christendom, even with sisters in church, even with brothers. So they think, okay, because we are dating, he's in Malaysia, I'm in Enugu, or he's in Ikeja, I am in the UK. That we have said we are trying to check ourselves out for dating is a license for us to do video calls that we shouldn't do. Many times people, in fact, which is
Okay.
why
Sorry, I didn't hear that part you just
someone, one
said.
of the viewers, I think it was Caris, yeah, who said the disadvantages of online dating far outweighs, because I know before the digital age, I mean, you trying to check out a lady or check out a guy, the highest you did was, I mean, you were going to meet yourselves somewhere. You get to like, okay, I want to see this person, I have to go somewhere. But right now, you can reach this person at any time of the night, just with a video call. You are calling the person, you know. You can call, the person can choose to pick, or the person can't choose to pick. Things like that. So I'm saying, with such decadence, which we keep seeing. In fact, I had a coach one time with me on a live, and then she was saying something about at odd hours of the night, even as a relationship coach, she would have some certain clients call her, with video calls. And in her mind, she would think, okay, maybe they're in some kind of distress. She would pick the call, only to find that somebody who is naked on the other side is trying to put a call through to a relationship coach. Do you understand? So I don't know, for whatever motive, whether you want counseling in such state, I don't know. So I mean, with such decadence and with we, there's no doubt that we would not continue to see this kind of decadence as the years go by. You know, how does one? I mean, we've said a lot already about checking out red flags, doing all these things. How exactly do we make singles know? I mean, you're in the profession, I'm in the profession. How do we make them know that you have met somebody online and you guys have begun to check yourselves out? It's not enough license to accept video calls or make video calls when you are dressed uncompromisingly. How do we navigate that?
We just have to let them know that it's a big red flag. You don't do that. You see, I said earlier that anything soliciting sexuality online, should be a no-no. You see, you think that you are having an intimate moment with this person by showing your nudes or doing all of those stuff. What you don't know is what is going on at the other end. What if he's recording it? What if she's recording it? All right. And then somewhere down the line, you're being blackmailed, or not even blackmailed, but your character is being assassinated. You don't do that. Just, we need to teach young people, especially, how to control their emotions, how not to be led by their feelings. All right. How to understand boundaries. And then, most importantly, how to honor the word of God. Because if you just as basic as honor God's word on purity, so all of this conversation won't be coming up. It will become a red flag for you when every time someone is talking to you, they're trying to find out what is inside your clothes. So what are you putting in now? If I'm to take away 5 things from your body, what kind of useless talk is that? The
Honestly.
conversation ends there. It ends there. As a matter of fact, you don't even indulge video calls at certain times of the day. As a matter of principle, you should have principles in your life. Do you understand? If we're talking in the evening, maybe past 10 p.m., 11, why should it be on video call? In fact, at a particular time, we should go and sleep. You see, people allow their emotions just drive them. And that is where it becomes destructive. Okay. You should be able to instruct your emotions. Please go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. And then again, a lot of singles think when you have to speak with someone you're in a relationship with for a long period of time, that for a protracted number of maybe minutes, hours,
Oh,
that
yeah.
it equates to love. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
No,
See, the only information the person you are dating requires to know about you on a daily basis is at least to know if you're doing fine. Have you eaten?
that's all.
Okay, where are you? Any other thing is Jara. I recall, when I was when I was courting my husband. That was when we used to have all these MTN midnight calls that you would call
Midnight
for
call,
long. They used to have free
special number.
free MTN midnight. Yes,
Yeah,
you would call the number for long and everything. You know, and then yes, we used to do that for the times when he was chanced, perhaps only during weekends. During the daytime, we didn't have to like call. I'm not saying that should work for everybody, but I'm saying that having to like call the person you're in a relationship with and you talk for straight 3 hours, 4 hours. I mean, anybody can do that with you. A guy who wants to get under your pants can invest time in talking to you every day for 3 hours, 4 hours.
oh
It doesn't mean
yes,
he loves you.
oh
He
yes,
loves you.
oh yes.
So if you
Mm-hmm.
are dating somebody who genuinely loves you and he or she can't dedicate 3 hours, 4 hours just as you would want to speak to you every day, it doesn't demean the fact that she or he loves you. So it's high time we
Very good
drill
point.
this line, making
Very
them
good point.
know that time, yes, it's good to like, make out time to speak with your loved one, that's the person you like dating or in a relationship with, because you guys have plans for the future. But you don't nail them on that basis when they are not able to give you straight 3 hours or call you 30 times a day or call you 10 times a day. Like I said earlier, what the person requires or what you require is, okay, how did your day go, or how is your day going? I mean, short conversations, phone calls. Because that you are dating a person doesn't mean you don't have a life of your own. There has to be
Exactly.
privacy, even in a relationship. In a healthy relationship, there should be privacy. Even in marriage, as married people,
Oh
you don't
yes.
say because you are married to your husband or your wife, you are
They
not
should
like
not have a
Siamese
life.
twins. They shouldn't have a life because they are married to you. That's unhealthy. So as a
Very
single
unhealthy.
person, when you're dating somebody, you've got to understand that I have to cut them some slack at a point. Allow them be. Let them also bask in their privacy. Give them room to think, to clear their heads. Not becloud them and choke them with attention. And it's even an anomaly when you are dating somebody who's an attention seeker. They're the ones who will choke you with, ah, you didn't call me today, you've not been calling me, we've not been. Whereas all you need is just at least call them to know how they are doing, to know you
Check
don't need
up
to
on
like
them.
begin to
That's all.
invest. Exactly. It's a red flag. When you're dating an
It is.
attention seeker, yeah, they will choke you. I mean, you won't be able to like do something meaningful for yourself. You know, yeah. So I don't know if I have any more things to add. We've really had a conversation today.
I mean, to tie it up, I would just say increase in knowledge, all right, because knowledge empowers you, and then trust your instincts, as it were. Trust your discernment. Everything may be looking fine externally, but for some reason you're not comfortable. Trust that discernment, all right, because it's looking out for you. All right. If you're still somewhat confused, then consider speaking with a professional. Speak with people like us in this space. Speak with a counselor or a therapist. All right. That way,
Yeah.
we will be able to identify if it's your own trauma, perhaps, that is holding you back. All right. So, but empower yourself with knowledge and then trust your instincts, and also seek the services of a professional. Because the truth is, marriage is a lifetime decision. You want to be able to
Yes.
make it right. All right. Don't play with your heart. I tell people you don't have any business getting into a relationship if you are not ready to get married. If you don't have marriage in view, stop
Exactly.
playing with your heart unnecessarily. All the complications that people are having, okay, let me not say all, most of the complications people have in their marriage were from the excesses from their exes. You get it? You are having multiple relationship left, right, center. You have gathered so many things now that are not useful for you in your own marriage, and then you and your partner are quarreling all the time. If you just did not have all those experiences, you have already minimized the complications that you had to deal with your partner. You see, so I tell people if you cannot see marriage with this person, don't even make it a relationship. Don't even get emotionally
Yeah.
entangled. Don't get romantically involved for your own good. You're preserving your heart that way. All right. So let me
Yeah.
leave it at that.
Okay, beautiful. And it's also important that our singles out there know that, I mean, do not commit to date anybody except you meet that person physically.
Oh, yes.
It
Very
took you guys
important.
2 years to see yourselves, which I don't advise that you're like hanging on to somebody for 2 years
You're
before
not waiting. No, don't do
before
that. Don't do that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Do not commit until you see the person physically. I mean, everything that played out, in the Bible. For instance, um, when God instructed Abraham and asked him to pick a wife from only a particular place, a particular tribe of people, because of the
Yeah.
plans he had for Abraham and his lineage. Abraham
That's right.
instructed his servant to go to a particular place, to get, somebody that can fit into that picture. And then when that guy, yes, saw it, of course, God was with them all through. When he saw it, there was a sign of, okay, if I meet a lady who is able to give me water, and then, blah, 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 and, all that. I want to spell us the main, all the details, that was a sign. I think I understand that everybody, you know, every single out there, um, should not necessarily be a Christian because we all, have our different religions. But I'm speaking
True.
particularly to those of us who are Christians. You know, as a Christian, it's ideal that you don't dabble into dating a person or a particular person except you are instructed to do so. Why? So that you do
Very
not
key.
waste emotional resources. It's like when you are,
True.
they say, okay, try to conserve money. Don't waste all your money here. Don't waste. Same way with emotions. You know, we don't people these days just want to like spend it anyhow, anyhow. You heighten relationship, it doesn't you heighten your emotions with this person. Tomorrow it doesn't work, you drop it. You go again, you move to the next person, you heighten emotions, it doesn't work, you drop it. You keep wasting emotions. I mean, versus when you have that discernment and you know that, okay, I am ready for this, and I think God
Yeah,
wants me to ask this person out, or I think God wants me to accept proposal from this person, to date this person, because you're looking at something futuristic versus just,
that's right.
like you said earlier, having to deal with excesses, because there are relationships you shouldn't have even gone into in the first place. And so because it has happened, it has left you, with some bitter taste in your mouth. And then traumas begin to pile, traumas begin to build, and you don't know how to, like, release or excrete this trauma. And then the next person
True.
automatically becomes the next person that will receive water, water, your emotions,
I'm
and
telling you.
things like that. So really, these are things we really
Yeah.
should make our singles know. Thank you so much, Coach Maisie. It's been a wonderful 1 hour discussing with you. We could go on
Thank you
and
so
on
much.
and on. We should do this some other time, really. It's been an interesting
By God's grace, I'm
conversation.
available. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm sure, I don't know, do we have questions? Do we have
Let me
questions?
see.
No matter how little.
Uh, we had a number of we had a number of comments from Caris,
Okay.
but those are the only
Okay.
ones I
Okay.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caris, thank you so much for the engagement. Thank you for the
Thank you,
comment.
Caris. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Coach Maisie. God bless you.
Thank you
God
too.
bless you. Thank
God
you
bless
all
you
for
too.
joining.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank you all
Yeah.
for joining. See you in my next live. Bye bye.
Yep. Yep. Bye. Yeah.